welcome to a new edition of Cracking the Cryptic, where I'm all hoodied up today. My new Cracking the Cryptic hoodie, very comfortable it is too. And we're going to be looking at a debut on the channel for the constructor Nicholas today. Nicholas spelt with a K at the start. And the puzzle is called Eye of the Storm. And a couple of our testers have done this. They say it's pretty difficult, but very, very clever indeed. So I'm looking forward to having a go at it. I don't have any news for you today, so I suppose just an appeal. If you do watch the channel regularly and you do enjoy it and you're not a subscriber, please do consider subscribing. We'd really appreciate it. And with that, let's go on with the rules. Let's jump straight into it. So we've got normal Sudoku rules apply. Digits along an arrow sum to the digit in that arrow's circle. So that means that those three digits there sum up to this digit. So if we were to put 1, 2 and 6 in there, that would be a 9. 1 plus 2 plus 6 equals 9. Hopefully that's clear. Along thermometers, digits must increase from the bulb end. So we've got 4 thermometers today, quite short ones though. So what that means is that whatever we put in this cell, let's say we put 5 into the bulb, we have to now increase just as mercury would rise as we went along a thermometer. So our digits must rise as we go up a thermometer. So this would have to be a bigger than 5. It could be a 7, doesn't have to be 6, it could be 7, that could be 9. 5, 7 and 9 would be a completely legitimate way to fill the thermo. Cells separated by an X must contain digits summing to 10. Okay, we've only got 2 of those, I think, so that means those 2 squares there have to sum to 10. So if that was a 4, that could be a 6, for example. And not all possible x's are necessarily given. All that is doing is saying that, say we're looking at this domino, you can see there is not an x between these 2 cells. That doesn't mean they can't add up to 10. They can absolutely add up to 10. There doesn't have to be an x between all dominoes that sum to 10. It's just that we know in the cases of these specific dominoes, they definitely do add up to 10. On either main diagonal marked in blue, digits cannot repeat. So that means that down there, the negative diagonal, we must have one of the digits 1 to 9 once each. The same on the positive diagonal there. It's called the positive diagonal because if you were to chart it on a sort of graph of y versus x, its gradient would be +1 rather than this one, which would have a negative gradient. Yeah, it's just a little bit of differentiation to introduce into your Sudokus. Anyway, let's kick off with this. Do have a go to yourselves. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual. But now I get to play. Let's get cracking. And the first thing I'm looking at here is these 3-cell arrows, because each of these individually, if we think about the fact that on any arrow, any 3-cell arrow where the digits on the arrow all have to be different, the minimum we could make these digits would be a 1, a 2 and a 3, and 1 plus 2 plus 3 is already 6. So each of these circles must be at least a 6. Now I'm tempted to say it feels like this is one of those puzzles where these all have to be different for some reason, but here can't immediately see why they have to be different at all. I think maybe I'm confusing this. I've certainly seen puzzles before where the corners all have to be different in a diagonal Sudoku, but these actually don't see each other. Is there some reason why, if this for example was 1, 2, 3, it might be some geometry here around sort of the extended Fistomephel ring. In fact, I think I'm immediately going to have a look at that because I can't see anything else. Let me just check this. So if this cell here, whatever this is, obviously can't go on its own arrow. It can't go in those squares, so it would be in one of these 3 squares. But it couldn't be in that square because of this funny little short stubby arrow. So it'd actually be in one of those 2 cells. But then it could go in any of those 3 cells. These 2 could not be the same. That I can see. But is there anything preventing this from being this? That would put that in the middle. I don't know. I'm not seeing anything simple. So what do I mean when I say I want to look at an extended or expanded Fistomephel ring? Well, there are certain geometry tricks you can play with any Sudoku puzzle, and it looks to me like this might be an opportunity to play such a trick. Although I'm now saying that, I'm actually, normally when you do these tricks I want to get this, the circle, in a different set to the arrow itself. And I'm not sure how this is going to work. Let's just have a look at this though. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight the whole of row 1, the whole of row 9, the whole of column 1, and the whole of column 9. And the reason I'm doing that is because these cells I've just highlighted, in fact that's really hard to see, I want to show up the arrows. You can see that all of the 3 cell arrows are within the sets of digits I've just highlighted. And the thing about these sets of digits are that I know exactly what they are, because a complete row of the Sudoku, obviously that is a set of the digits 1 to 9. So this, what I've highlighted, this blue cells, the perimeter of the grid, is, if I count the corners twice, and I want to do that, because of course this cell is definitely in row 1 and it's definitely in column 1 as well. So if providing I count the digits that appear in the corners twice, the cells I've highlighted are exactly 4 sets of the digits 1 to 9. So I want you to imagine that you write 4 sets of the digits 1 to 9 onto 36 Scrabble tiles and put them in a blue bag. Okay. Now I'm going to highlight the whole of box 1, the whole of box 3, the whole of box 7 and the whole of box 9. And can I get away with doing that in orange? I know that orange and blue are the most colourblind friendly colours, so I think I'll go with that. I don't seem to be highlighting any arrows here, so I think it should show up reasonably well on the video. Now, those cells I've just highlighted are also 4 sets of the digits 1 to 9, because each complete box of a Sudoku contains 1 set of the digits 1 to 9. So the orange cells, imagine I wrote these 36 digits onto Scrabble tiles and put them in an orange bag. At this moment, our bags contain the identical sets of digits, because they each contain 4 sets of the digits 1 to 9. And then of course what I can do is I can go into each bag and find certain digits, because this digit is in both bags. Whatever this digit is, it doesn't matter, it's in both bags. We can see that because it has both colours. So any cell in this grid that has both colours, I can go rummaging for that cell, or that tile, the tile that represents that cell, in my bag, in both bags. I can find the tile and throw it out of both bags. And of course once I've done that, because I've removed the same thing from both bags, the sets of digits I'm left with in those bags will still be the same, because they were the same before I did anything to the bags, and then I've thrown the same thing out of both bags. So at this point, having removed lots of tiles from both bags, we can still say that the orange bag and the blue bag contain the same thing. Now let's deal with these corners. Remember these corner tiles here, they were twice in the blue bag, but you can see now they're once in the orange bag. So I can rummage around in the blue bag, find one of this tile, one of whatever digit this is. I can find one of it. I'll find it in the orange bag as well, and I'll throw one of them out of each bag. Now that will leave one of this digit in the blue bag, because it's in the blue bag twice. So in fact these cells become just single blue. And now we should find we've got 16 cells in blue, and we do, and we've obviously got 16 cells in orange because we've got 4 2x2s there. So at this point we can say that the orange bag and the blue bag contain identical digits still. And if they contain identical digits, they must have identical sums. If we add up all the digits on the tiles in the blue bag and add up all the digits on the tiles in the orange bag, we're going to get the same number. Now think about the nature of an arrow. An arrow is telling us that these 3 digits, these 3 tiles if you like, sum to the same as this tile. So if I was to rummage in my orange bag and find this digit, and rummage in my blue bag and find those 3 digits, and remove those 3 digits from blue and this digit from orange, it would still be true to say that the remainder of the orange bag and the remainder of the blue bag added up to the same number. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm no longer claiming that there's the exact same tiles in both bags, but I can say that the sums of what's left in both bags are the same. So, right, okay, right, now we are getting somewhere, because I did manage to get the circles in a different set. And I can now see that these 4 cells in the corner of the grid actually all have to be different numbers. So the maximum we could ever make the blue tiles add up to now is 30, because all of these digits have to be different. Imagine that's a 6. Could you have a 6 in any of those 3 cells now? Well, no, you couldn't. So these all have to be different. So their maximum value is 30. And 30, therefore, is a total I have to achieve with these 12 cells. Now, it must be difficult to keep 12 cells down to only 30, although they aren't seeing each other very well. Actually, the diagonals, maybe. Okay, so here's the challenge. What is the value of the orange cells? I can see that the minimum I could put onto that diagonal's orange cells would be a 1, 2, 3, 4 quadruple. That's 10. So if I do the same on the negative diagonal and put a 1, 2, so if I did 1, 2, 3 and 4 into those cells, I would get to a value of 20, which means that these cells have to add up to no more than 10. But that's quite easy unless these all have to be different. So do these cells here, the ones with the yellow flashes, all have to be different? I'm not sure they do. That one can't be the same as that one. But isn't this sort of similar to what I looked at before with this circle? Oh, no, it's not, actually. No, it's not, because of the diagonal. Right, okay, hang on. I'm going to just give this one a different colour so I can look at it individually. Actually, purple was a silly choice. Let's give it black, a black flash. So, if I want this digit to be as low as possible, which means I want it to be a 1, 2, 3 or 4, it needs to appear somewhere on this diagonal. And it can't appear in those 2 squares because it sees those 2 squares, so it would have to appear in one of these 2 squares. It also has to appear in that. Oh, no, hang on. This is really weird. No, it's not this diagonal that this black cell is limited on. I think it's this diagonal. So if I want this to be a low digit, and I need it to be a low digit, because if it's a high digit, like if I try and make this a 5, well, then I suppose 2 of the others could be low digits. Well, let's just work with the first thing I'm thinking about before I get myself confused. If I want this to be a low digit, i.e. a 1, 2, 3 or 4, it needs to appear on this diagonal. Where does it go on this diagonal? Because this little short arrow reflects it into that square, so it can't go in those 2 and it can't go in that one. So this one would have to go there. Yeah, now this is really clever. Good grief. Right, now I want to ask the question. Can any other circle, any of those circles, be a black flash digit now? No. Because this one sees that, well, these 2 here see that one. This one sees both of the other 2. And by symmetry, because these are all symmetrical, that logic must apply For all of so all of these digits have to be different. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Well, that's ridiculous, but that's predicated on the fact that I want these digits to be a 1, 2, 3, or 4. So what I have now proved is that there is one way of doing this if I use the digits 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, if I increase any digit here, like if I try and make this a 5, for example, then I've got to make 2 of the remaining circles low digits, because I've got to keep them down to under 5, and obviously if they were all different they would add up to 6. They would be 1 plus 2 plus 3. So I need 2 of these to be low. So I need 2 of these to appear. Hang on. So I need, not only do I need 2 of them to be the same digit and to be a 1, 2, 3, or 4. So, like, is it possible to put 2 1s into any of these? No, that's just never going to work. Well, let me temper that slightly. You might be able to do it, but not without absolutely blowing up the diagonals. So if you try and do 2 1s here, you now definitely can't put a 1 on this diagonal. In fact, no, you can't. You just can't do it at all. How are we going to put 2 of the same number into these? If we try and do 2 1s there, we now can't put a 1 on that diagonal at all, and we can't put a 1 on the other diagonal at all, because these are going to reflect. So however you do it, you can't do it. You're going to totally blow up both diagonals. If you have a repeated low digit, that digit cannot appear on the diagonal as well. And so, yeah, this is just impossible. This is absolutely impossible. So we have, therefore, I think, demonstrated that there is exactly one way to make the mathematics of this work. We need to have 6, 7s, 8s, and 9s into the corners. We need to have 1, 2, 3, and 4 on both diagonals, and we need to have different 1s, 2s, 3s, and 4s into all of these squares. So I might retain my black flash there actually and change these ones. Yeah, because what I think I can do now is to colour all of my orange digits. I might be wrong about this, but the fact I could colour this digit suggests to me I should be able to do this. Hang on, let's now get rid of orange and blue altogether and see if we can do this, because we know that those 3 digits are the same. So I'll now use yellow for one of them. So let's make this one yellow. Therefore that one's yellow. Now yellow can't go in those 2 or these 2. Yes, and yellow needs to be in one of those cells on that diagonal, so it must be there. Now, is that all the yellowing we can get done? I think it... No, I need to put yellow on one of those squares. Yes, it must go there. Okay, so there we go. So now I've got 4 yellows. Now, I should be able to get 4 blacks as well, shouldn't I? I should be able to put a black on this diagonal. Yes, it's got to go there. Right, nice. Okay, so now I'm going to do a blue. Let's do blues next. So we'll make this, no, actually I should start with an arrow. So there's a blue, that's a blue. Where does blue go on this diagonal? It's got to go there. Now where does blue go on this diagonal? It's got to go there. This is very clever. So that's my 4 blues done. So now I can do, maybe I'll do purple. Or orange. No, I should do orange probably. Orange there and there. So we should be thinking about, well, in fact we can just see that's now got to be orange because it's just got to fill in the gaps on both the other diagonals. So there we go. We've got some digits. Well, no, we haven't got digits, but what we have got is some, oh, I should change black, shouldn't I? People don't like black against the blue background. Sorry, I'll just get rid of black now and I'll use purple. Right, so I've now got some digits disposed around these diagonals. What do we do with this new knowledge? I've got a 1, 2, 3, 4 quadruple in row 3. Actually, what do I do with this? Hang on a minute. There must be something we can do with this. We can... I don't know. Sorry, I'm now completely discombobulated. It's... What's this telling us? Oh, I know, I've got digit. The central cell of the grid sees every other digit, doesn't it? It sees 1, 2, 3, 4 quadruple, and it also sees every digit in the corner. And these digits in the corner, I've got a horrible feeling we're going to have to colour these digits in the corner as well, because we know they're all different, but they're a 6, 7, 8, 9 quadruple, and they see that cell. So that cell in the centre is a 5. And in fact, these cells in the centre, therefore, have got to be a 6, 7, 8, 9 quadruple, because these 4 corner cells each see individually a 1, 2, 3, 4 quadruple. So these cells have got to be a 1, 2, 3, 4 quadruple. Therefore, in theory, I should be able to allocate a colour to those, but I don't think any of our colours are seeing these central cells at the moment. Okay. Oh dear. Right. So, what do we do with this knowledge? How does this help us? I can see we've got to have a couple of low digits on this arrow, and I know that those digits are orange, look, and purple. So there's so the purple is in one of those two, but the orange could be in any of them. How does that help? If indeed it does help. It would help if I could get it would really help if I knew that this had 3 low digits on it. But I don't think it has to have 3 low digits on it, because it could have a 6 or a 5 on it. Any arrow, any 3 cell arrow could have a 6, 1, 2 on it. If its circle could be a 9, or it could have a 5 on it as 1, 3, 5 or 1, 2, 5, adding up to 8 or 9. Okay. Where does orange go in that box? Look, there's Sudoku. If I'm stuck, I should always try and do Sudoku, because that actually can help me. And is that symmetrical? So if we get 1 digit, does that mean I can get? Shouldn't that work? Oh, hang on. That's put orange on this line. Well, this line has to have orange, yellow and blue on it, that line there. Orange, yellow, blue by Sudoku. It's got 2 blues, 2 yellows and 2 oranges in those cells. So by Sudoku, that line is a yellow, orange, blue line. So it's 3 low digits adding up to... Oh, no, okay. Okay, all options are still on the table for this digit then, because this digit could be... Yeah, I mean, we could be 2, 3, 4 adding up to 9, couldn't we? And that, so 9 is still possible. Oh, but the other thing I wanted to check was if that works. So wherever we find, yes, I see, look, yellows, where does yellow go in this box? It goes there. So that puts yellow on this line as well as purple, and so this line is yellow, purple, and orange, I think, by Sudoku. Now, does this work in the other directions as well? So that's mean blue. Yeah, yes, it does. Where does blue go in this box? By Sudoku, again, it goes there. And that puts blue on this line. So this line is blue, yellow, and purple. And then over here, what's the line I've not thought about yet? Is it this purple line? Yes, this purple line places purple here in box number 3, and that puts purple on this line along with orange and blue. So each of these are different, are they? We've got, yeah, oh yes, they are actually all different. Yeah, the way I've noticed they're all different, I'm not very good at scanning whether each of these colour schemes are different, but I can see that the digit there is a low digit in each of boxes 2, 4, 6 and 8 that's a different low digit. So once we know that there are 3 digits on the line that are all low, and then the one left out is always different, each of these combinations must be different. So that, yes, okay, so that means that one of these lines, one of these circles is adding up to 9. Because the digit that's not on the line, because one of these 4 digits is a 1, I don't know which one, but one of them is a 1, whichever one is a 1 will have 2, 3, 4 on the line, adding up to 9. And whichever one is a 4 will have 1, 2, 3 on the line, adding up to 6. Yes, and whichever one is a 3 will have a 1, 2, 4 on the line, adding up to 7. And whichever one is a 2 will have 1, 3, 4 on the line, adding up to 8. So these digits now, these circle digits, are a set of the digits 1 to 9. They are 6, 7, 8, and 9. I mean, I know there are 6, 7, 8, and 9. That's just self-evidently obvious, but when I say there are 6, 7, 8, and 9, there are 6 and a 7 and an 8 and a 9. That's what they are. I don't know what the order is, but that's what they are. So our challenge then is going to be to try and work out which the order is, and probably we're going to need the thermos, are we, to do that, or maybe the X's. How do we do this then? I feel like we've actually made some. It's a fascinating puzzle, isn't it? It's like a geometry puzzle. It's something where we've had to learn how the puzzle works. Now that can't be that can't be a 5. I worked out that can't be a 5 by looking at the row. Had I looked at the column, I would have appreciated it couldn't have been a 5 as well. Maybe I can actually improve by Sudoku. Look, that one can't be blue. So that logic must go round the grid. That one can't be purple. Let's just see if we can do better. That can't be orange. That can't be yellow. So I need to knock yellow or orange out of here. And each of these as well needs colouring, but I can't see. I mean, obviously, maybe I should colour this with the 3 colours that it's possible, because I mean it's clearer then. You've got a 1, 2, 3, 4 quadruple in the column, or maybe actually it's better just to do this. I'm not sure, and just fill in all of those coloured digits with 1, 2, 3, 4. That way I can see it very clearly anyway. That's a 1, 2, 3, 4 quadruple. 1, 2, 3, 4 quadruple in the central row. 5. Oh, no. I was about to say I could place 5 in this box, but I can't. 5 can't go here on the thermo because this would have to be low, which it can't be. All the low digits have gone. So 5 in this box is in one of 2 places. I might be able to do that some. Let's just see if we can. No, that's the best box for 5s. Okay, golly. So, oh, actually, you can't put 5 on an X, can you? Maybe these X's are somehow important. Is that likely to be true? 5 must be in one of 2 places in box 9, I'm noticing now. But unfortunately, these don't align. 5 can't go on the X here, so 5 is in one of 2 places in box 3. 5 can't go there. Oh no, we know 5 can't go there. 5. Oh no, sorry, I'm just totally not getting this. Do we have to colour in the 6, 7s, 8s and 9s? Is that... If so, how? The reason I'm not doing that immediately is I can't see how to coordinate them at all. I mean, I could colour the 4 in the corner a different colour. That, yes, I can do. But the question from there is, how do I narrow down what any of the others are? Is there some... Do I know anything about this one? I know this one... Whatever that is. Ah, yes, 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 yes. I think that's what we do. So maybe I don't... If that's a 4, that has to be a 6. If that's a 1, that has to be a 9. These two always add up to 10, do they? So if that's a 2... that becomes 1, 3, 4. Yeah, that's weird. Okay, that one and that one add up to 10. So maybe I've got to colour these according to how they pair up in terms of 10 totals. Can I? Let me just see if I can do that. So if I make that yellow with a dark flash, so yellow with a black flash, or a colour with a black flash will mean that it's the complement of its low digit in terms of it will add up to 10 with its low digit. So I can do that round the grid. That one must be the complement of that one. This one must be the complement of this one. And this one must be the complement of this one. So in effect, we are colouring our high digits now, but we're colouring them in a way which relates them to our low digits. So now, so this one is in a domino that adds up to 10 with this one. So this one can't be a purple digit now. Because if that was a purple digit, this would have to be that colour, which it's not. So that one is not purple, is my belief. Which means this digit is either a... Oh, this is... Oh, for goodness sake, it works. It works. Straight away, it works. This digit sees that square. So this cannot be orange. It can't be the... If this was an orange digit, because that domino adds up to 10, because of how I've defined my 6, 7, 8s and 9s, this digit and this digit... well, if this was orange, this would need to be a black and orange, and it can't be. So that must be blue, I think. And therefore that must be black and blue. So we've discovered something. 6, 7, 8 and 9. And that's black and blue. So neither of these is now blue. Oh, Yes, yes, which means the only one that can be orange is this one. This is wonderful. Oh my goodness. And now I can colour that. That's orange. That has become orange. Now, doesn't that mean I can place blue in this box, or am I going crazy? Because that cannot be blue, because that would need to be blue itself, which it can't be. So I think blue, so that gives me blue, and that means that's not 5. So that's 5. So that's 5, which means that's 5. Aha! That's 5. Oh, good grief. So actually, it wasn't. Once we had the right thought, we could actually do this a little bit. So 5's going in one of those two. 5's going in one of these two. Can't put 5 there. Oh, I was about to explain why in terms of the thermo, but yes, it's because of this 5. So we get some 5's. I know that square is a 6, 7, 8, or 9. This square, now, what does this mean? So these two squares are both black flash squares. This one, that can't be yellow because it would clash with this one. So that's not yellow. So this is either orange and black. Oh no, this is the same logic again. Look, this can't be purple black, so it must be orange black, and that must therefore be orange. So that's 6, 7, 8, or 9. This one is the other colour. So what doesn't have a pair? The purple doesn't have a pair. So purple black goes there. And now this square. Look, if we look along here. Well, but firstly we know these aren't orange, which means the only place for purple in the row is there, which means that's yellow, which means boom, boom, that's purple, which means those two purples over there are not seen. This is, how can this be your first puzzle, Nicholas? This is ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Now let's just see. I've seen I can get this digit, but let me just see if I can do better than that. I can now colour yellow in the middle box. I can colour blue in the middle box. That blue tells me about these digits over here. So we get those digits. The Sudoku looks like it's working. 2 oranges look at the top there, so that's become an orange. That seems to have to be the blue. I mean, even the way that these arrows are disambiguating, it's incredibly skillfully done by Nicholas. It's ridiculous. Now though, have we got any? No. All of our 1, 2, 3s, 4s are disambiguated in terms of their colour. And this cell is the one I've been waiting to look at. I can see this has to be yellow-black now because it sees the other 3 colours. Now these two, therefore, have to be purple-black and orange-black. I don't know if I can disambiguate that, but that means that purple-black and orange-black, that means blue-black in this column must go there. So, what does that mean? That means that I don't know. I'm not sure quite how to do this now. I must be able to carry on colouring. So can I get this one? Yes, that's orange. Orange black. It sees the yellow black on the diagonal. So now I've got. So now I need a yellow black in there, which must be here. So this column is now full of black coloured digits. Yellow black must be in one of those 2 cells. I've got to somehow colour these oh, I see. Maybe it's the diagonals. So those 2 squares are blue black. Sorry, blue purple with the black flash. And don't think I can tell which is which. What about those two? So they must be the others. So they are yellow, orange with black. So, I'm not seeing how to do this. What I really want to be able to do actually is to disambiguate these digits. So I know that this is purple and yellow. It doesn't seem to work the same way, doesn't it? I can't see where anything up down here is pointing at this to disambiguate it. And the same is true there. You can see that these two squares have got to be orange-purple with the black flash, but there's nothing over here to tell us how to do that. This is now worrying me. So, how do we do this? Answers on a postcard, please. I don't know. Oh, I can get 5 here. I've just noticed. How many 5s have I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 7. Oh, I see, and I've got an X-wing of 5s left. So those 4 digits all have to be high digits. They have to all be high. So whatever goes there, oh I see, and these all have to be high. Ah, I understand. Right. Okay. So, well, where's 9 in those digits? These have to be the digits 6, 7, 8, and 9. You can't put 9 halfway along a thermo. So, because this would have to be a 10 at least. So the 9 goes there, but now that bounces back over there, and where does the 9 go over here? And because of this tiny thermo, we can't put it in the bulb of this one, so that gives us a digit. That's a 9. Now that means that's not 9. So we now know that orange is not 9, which means that orange must go with 2, 3 or 4 and not with 1. So this digit now has to be a 2, 3 or 4. That has to be a 2, 3 or 4. So wherever we got orange, we can limit its options very slightly and get rid of 9 as well. We can get rid of 9 from here. We can get, oh no, we don't. Oh no, we can't do anything there. Oh, no, we don't know enough about orange to do better than that. Ah, but look, yeah, now this 9 is also seeing those 2 digits. But we don't know what they are either. Is it the diagonals? No. Nearly, actually. But no, not quite. Let's keep going though, because the other question that now occurs to me is that I can't put 8 here, because then that would have to be a 9 and it can no longer be a 9. So the 8 in this box, yeah, this is beautiful. Oh, this is beautiful. Good grief. Yeah, so now 8 must be in one of those squares in box 4, but now I can ask where 8 goes in this box. Now, it's not there, so it's in one of these two. If it's there, that has to be at least a 10. So that gets us an 8 and a 9. Because we must go higher on the thermo, which means that, so now I've got an 8, 9 pair in this column, which means that this one is now 6 or 7, and that one, yeah, that one's 6 or 7. So now, I've now got a yellow and blue are the low of the high digits. Now, so that means, oh no, that means this digit's an 8. So I've got a 6, 7 pair here. Wow, 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 wow. So orange has become an 8, which means that gets oranged. And that means that one, the purple, is a 9, which means that one gets purpled. so that one gets purpled. Now, what does that mean? That's obviously accompanying its friend here. So orange is 8 and 2. So wherever we see an orange low digit, we can write 2 in. Let's start there and see if we can do anything more as a result of that. Now, wherever we see orange high, we know it's 8. So we can fill some of those in. Sorry, that's a 2 as well. We can that one can't be 8 anymore. That one can't be orange anymore because it sees orange here. So that one is yellow, which means that one is orange in that box. So that one is therefore the 8, which means that 8's in one of 2 places in that box. 8 can come out of all of these cells. Oh, look, 9 comes out of those squares, of course. So that we know purple's 9. 9 and 1. So let's start doing purples now. We can fill 1's in there, 1's here, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Which one of these can be 9? Only this one. So that's purple, not blue, which means that one is blue by the same token. Blue we know is 6 or 7, so it's not 8. Now that must go with 3 or 4, so these two get restricted. This one is not 9. Now I think we can probably keep going a bit longer. I don't feel like I did enough 1's and 9's there, but maybe I did everything we could, or we're going to be allowed to do at this point. 1 and 2 come out of these cells. Blue is 6 or 7. So actually let's tidy up all of the blues and the yellows by the same token. We can do all of this, can't we? Blue is 6 or 7. Yellow is 6 or 7. Those two become 3 or 4. Now, can we do the final bits of disambiguation? That's our challenge. So, okay, so these squares are a 6-7 pair. And we know the order now because this is yellow, so that must be yellow. And this one must therefore be blue. Does that help? Don't know. So one of these two is now blue, which is this. Yeah, that is helpful, because this one now is the only place that blue with the black flash can go, and we know that blue is not 8, so that fixes the 8 on the thermo, which I don't know if that's going to be helpful enough, but it might be. We now know that this one has got to be the yellow with the black flash, so that's a 6-7. This is a 6-7. This column needs obviously a 6-7 at the top, and these, well, we know which of these is yellow now. It's not this one. Although I've now made a mistake. I'm now thinking I've got too many 6s and 7s up here. What did I just do there? Didn't like that logic at all. Yeah, I think I put 6 and 7 into one of these cells unjustifiably. I think the key is to notice that yellow is not here though. So that means this is yellow, and therefore that is 6 or 7. The purple we already know is a 9, so we can write purple there. So this is an 8-9 pair. We don't seem to be able to disambiguate it yet though. So we still have a little bit of work to do. We know that that's not... Oh, I see, and perhaps I could have done this a bit more quickly by focusing on the No, I still can't do it using the totals for the arrows. They just seem to be working without actually resolving anything. What a remarkable puzzle this is. It's absolutely balmy, isn't it? So this down here is a 1 or a 2. Is not a 1 or a 2, I should say. So... yeah, we're going to be getting to the point soon where we need to understand, maybe it's going to be the bulb of this thermo. we have not, I've not put 9 in that row. Well, I can't put 9 there, yes, so here we go. So that's 9, which means one of these two cells is 9 and it can't go on the bulb again. So that's 9, which means it gets purple and blacked, and that means that's not purple. Therefore, that's the 8, this is the 9. We can disambiguate the colours. The 8 now is locked into that cell by Sudoku, which means that's an 8 at the top, which is going to disambiguate the final positions of 5s, I think, because the 5 has to shift over that side, which places the 5 down here. Oh, this is so clever. Yes, it is. I can see exactly how this works now, because now this thermo is forced to be a 6-7 thermo, and of course, finally, we learn the order of it. This has got to be the 6, this has got to be the 7. And once this is the 6, it forces the blue to be the 7 and the yellow to be the 6. So we can now fill in all of the 4s on the yellow thingies. Let's do that. I've been assuming, by the way, that I couldn't double click, because when there's 2 things that are yellow, it won't hone in on the one I wish it would hone in on, if you see what I mean. It'll just hone in on all of them. So where does this, well, there's a 6 up there. 6 is yellow, isn't it? So we can yellow that one. That one's got to be bluified. The 9s have got to be purplified. The 8s have got to be orangified. And the yellow here is known. I've not put 7 in this row, so that seems to have to go there. And that's therefore bluified. Blue goes with a 3, 3, 7. 7, 3, not 4, 3, 3, 7, 7 at the top, 3 here, 3, 3, 3, 3, 7, and I should be left with having to put a 6 here, and that looks very good in the column, very good in the row, and 6 is yellow, and it's a complete dog's breakfast of a grid in terms of, I appreciate fully, it looks very colourful and hard to see. Maybe I get rid of the blacks now so that we can, will this work? I'm not sure. Let me just see. Yeah, that's a bit better, isn't it? And I click tick. And that is how to solve it. Isn't that beautiful? What a beautiful puzzle. Good grief. What I liked about that was it was really surprising. There was, I mean, I have seen lots of puzzles before where you have the 2 main diagonals, and then you have some logic that sort of shows digits that see the diagonals all have to be different numbers. But this worked very unusually. I loved the fact that you could use these little arrows to force the totals on the 2 diagonals. And what I really liked actually after that was the way the colouring worked, and the fact that I could actually force low digits onto the 3 cell arrows and then colour them all and disambiguate the colouring. I mean, and then it's very cute the way that these little thermos work. And you've got this little 2x2 here that had to have a 9, and you can put 9 at the bottom. That forced the 9 here, which then forced the 8s back over the other side. This has been very carefully put together. It really has. It's a stunning puzzle. Good grief. Well, Nicholas, take a bow. And thanks so much for watching, everyone. I look forward to the comments, which I do enjoy reading, especially when they're kind. And we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.